object of TaxiChronicles is to allow real riders with real stories share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning, morning, morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we're honoured to have a guy who lives in an old Admiralty warship down by the Thames. I think it's a warship, I may get it wrong, but he was soon correct me. Nice to have you here today, Jimmy.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
So tell us, what is it that you live on?
So it's an Admiralty launch ship, which is it was built in the 1940s during the war.
Okay.
And it was mainly used then to transport troops from one ship to another, or transport the troops from ship to shore. So it's like a transporter, really. And during the past, 70, 80 years, it's been sort of modified to be houseboat to live on, and it's had a lot of owners over the years, and I rent it off a guy right now as a sort of like a little bit of a favour kind of thing. But I've lived on boats for the past. I've lived in London for 5 years, and I've always lived on boats.
Where do you come from?
Originally come from Sussex, sort of Hastings area originally. And I moved up here for work and university, but now I've finished university and everything, so now I'm just working. But yeah, no, it's a really cool place to live.
Okay, so I've interviewed a guy who lives on a canal boat, and he talks about how you have to get the fire going and heat up the boat.
Oh yeah.
So do you share that sentiment, that experience that you did?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, boats get really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer.
Is your vessel a metal vessel?
No, ours is wooden actually, which normally brings up alarm bells for people who live on them, simply because if something goes wrong with the wood or something, it can go wrong very quickly.
Yeah,
and then it'll go from a small hole to a very big hole quite quickly. But
really?
Which it is fine. Like the boat is absolutely fine, but
really?
there is yeah.
So if there's a hole in the boat, it doesn't just sink.
No, well, it will sink quite quickly, but as long as you can pump the water out, you're gonna keep floating. It's sort of like a champagne cork,
Yeah.
Sort of it will float, but if there's a massive hole in it, then you've got a problem. But with metal ships or metal boats, you have a lot more time to fix your hole, just due to the fact it's quite thick metal or steel. But on a wooden boat you have a lot less time. But
you've lived on both.
Yeah, I lived on both. I've lived on an old Dutch barge, and that was lovely. It was beautiful. All in the same area in Southwark.
Are these boats expensive to buy?
It depends. So, some can be quite cheap, but then you might just be buying a shell and you might have to do it up yourself. Or
the boat you're on, how much is that worth?
It's worth a fair amount. It's worth about £70,000 to £80,000.
And has it got like bedrooms or?
It's got one bedroom, a kitchen, wheelhouse, which is sort of like a semi-lounge area, and then like a front room kind of thing.
So the wheel, but you've got like those cushioned benches either side.
Yeah, we do.
Is it narrow? A narrow boat? It's not like a canal boat width.
No, it's wider than a canal boat, but not quite as long. But you got plenty of room on there.
Is it like 3 meters wide?
Yeah, probably getting on for that. Something like that. Yeah.
Yes, you need troop movement. That means weapons and kit.
Yeah. So it's now. There was only one inside bit when it was a troop transport, so they would all be sort of sitting in the outside bit, and then the front cabin, which is the front cabin now, and the kitchen and the front cabin, they were the inside bits. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm not too sure what they would have done there, but they would have probably had their kit in there and things, or the people who operate the ship would be doing things from in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, really interesting. I'm not too sure what it was used in. I'm not too sure about the specifics, but there's a lot of boats. There's a couple of boats in our in our dock they were at Dunkirk and things like that. They were part of the little boats who helped in the evacuation. I've been on one of them, and I think it was actually recently used in the film Dunkirk. They managed to supply some of these small boats for the film that were actually there, which is really cool.
Very authentic as well.
Very authentic, yeah.
So what is it about boats that attracts you?
Well, it's much cheaper than living in a flat, generally speaking.
No council tax?
No, you pay council tax. So we pay ours to Southwark. We're technically not Southwark residents, but we pay to the council, because the council run the dock itself. So like the control office, they're all employed by Southwark Council.
Do you pay like a category D or something?
I'm not too sure about that.
I'm thinking, even though they run that area, it's not anything, I don't know. It's just because I know for Southwark it's like £1,600.
Yeah.
So for that, living on a boat is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's probably...
You have to pump your own sewage and all of that. Does that...
So our boat doesn't really have that facility on it. So there's a shared communal space on the dock that we'd use if we needed to go to the toilet or something like that.
Right, showers the same thing?
Shower the same thing, yeah. So it does have a like a cassette toilet and things like that, but we prefer to go and use the facilities that are given to us.
So that's interesting. So in the middle of the night in winter, if nature calls, you have to get outside.
Yeah. That it's you know, it's one aspect of it that isn't as good as living in a flat. But I mean, the flats near where I live are so expensive, and I'm paying considerably less per month.
Can I ask you how much is the rent per month for a boat?
So the boat I live on now is £900 a month for two of us, so it's £450 each. So it's not too bad. So I live.
That's a one bedroom.
That's a one bedroom. So I live with my girlfriend. But I mean the flats surrounding the dock, or like near the nearest tube station, is thousands of pounds a month. So if I wanted to stay in this area, I simply wouldn't be able to afford it if I didn't live on a boat.
Can you decide to move your boat, like the canal boat, go and moor it somewhere else?
Oh yeah. If I owned it, I could take it wherever I like, really. But the benefits of being in the dock is that you have a permanent mooring. So unlike the people who would live on the canals, that they have to move their boats every week. About 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. The guy said.
Yeah. So thankfully we don't have to do that, which is really good. Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself not living on the boats and doing a house?
Oh yeah, at some point. Yeah. I mean, I do love the boat life, because you get to know all your neighbours and
community. Yeah.
There's most certainly a community aspect to it.
So during lockdown, you lot are just sitting on top of your boats.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's just chilling.
Yeah, everyone was really
because
relaxed.
because the police can't tell you go indoors.
No.
Because you're on your boat.
I'm on my boat. Yeah.
So you're just on the roof of the boat.
Yeah. I mean, it's so lucky to have like some outdoor space, because I remember in that first lockdown it was so hot during the summer, and even last summer it had a couple of weeks of really hot weather, and I couldn't imagine being in a flat for that. It's not ideal.
Where's the most preferred place for you to as you lived in boats and all across London? Where's
only here. But I do know people who have lived in like Camden, and I know someone who lives next to StKatharineDock, and at StKatharineDock, I don't think you're allowed to live on your boat in StKatharineDock. I think it's only mooring only, and I think there's not that many docks where you can get a permanent mooring compared to what most people do, which is the canal circuit. which is fun. I know people who do that, and they have no problem with it. They see it as a little adventure every couple of weeks, go somewhere new, which I do like that aspect of it. But for work, like where we're going now, is perfect little spot for going to work, and it's pretty central as well. We've got good transport links, which is great. You're right next to the river bus stop. There's literally one a minute away. So if you've got the money to go down to Embankment or Westminster or whatever on the river bus, then you're laughing.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah,
really good. So the job you do now, what's the job you do now?
I'm a cheesemonger, so we're heading to Borough Market. That's where I work, and I manage a cheese shop at Borough Market.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've done that since I've lived in London. Not managed it, but have worked in and around cheese since I've moved here in 2017. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Although looking for new jobs at the moment. Although I do love this one, it is great. If you like food, it's a perfect place to work.
Okay.
And that also has it's got a good, strong community sense and things like that. But yeah, Borough Market's great.
I see you're a man who likes community.
Yeah, I like a bit of that. I mean, I do like to keep to myself as well sometimes, but it's always good to have people around you that you can rely on for something or other, especially when you're on a boat and you're missing a tool or something.
Yeah,
and you.
That's what I was going to say. What are the maintenance issues that you've had?
Maintenance issues I've had in the past. So on some other, but it might sound funny, but when you run out of water and you haven't quite been paying attention to your water level on the boat, if you completely run it dry, then you get air pockets within the water pipes and everything, and then no water will come through even if it's full. So me and my friends have had to try and sort that out with trying to suck the air out with a hoover, and then doing all this crazy stuff just to try and get air pockets out. That's probably the biggest one I've had. I've had to get people I know have had to get their entire boats rewired because of safety issues and stuff. But there's never really, while I've been there's never been some catastrophe where someone's come round and gone, help, my boat is sinking.
No fires.
no fires, nothing like that. Thank God, because
Well, we're coming to the end of the journey. You've been a great guest.
Cheers.
I have to ask you this because you seem such an expert. If somebody wants to get in touch with you to get advice about living on a boat, are you on Instagram or anything?
I'm on Instagram, yeah.
What's your Instagram handle?
Oh, I think it's JimmyJC99.
Do you want to spell that out?
JimmyJC99.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.